All right. What up? What up? How are we doing? Say good or else. All right. What up? How is everybody doing today? I forgot why I came into my bank. I'll figure it out later. I do need to grab a new Reaver task. I don't feel like doing AOD right now. That just seems like a lot. Oh, I get to pick. I think we'll do Kerapac because I've been meaning to test out the Scripture of a Masket there. So we'll do some Kerapac. Who knows? Maybe we'll finally get our last staff piece. First, let me go here, redeem this. Okay, so all my special research is done. That's good. Okay, I need to figure out how to actually complete the research missions. So let me check that real quick in the achievements. Stadio Gaga. What is this? Oh, so I guess there's a bunch of special research I need to figure out. I'll do that later. I'll do that later. Yes, we did finally get the offhand. I did like 2 kills last night and then I got it. So this is the final log. 50-50, by the way. Yeah, I don't know. But listen, we're done. We don't have to grind it anymore. So that's a W in my book. So I haven't done Kerapac in a couple of months at this point, so this might be not good. We're just still doing Golden Reaper stuff right now. I have a Kerapac Reaper that I'm gonna do, so we'll do that, and then I have to grab another Reaper for the day. So we're gonna be doing our Reaper tasks, but beyond that, we're just gonna be working on Golden Reaper stuff. So this week is Vitalis week at Virago, so probably not doing any Virago, but we'll definitely be doing like EED2, ED1, Kerapac. Those would be places where I want to spend a little bit of time. Also, that reminds me, I need to make room in my chest here. Are there any ED3 exclusive drops in here? Can you get Blackstone Hearts in ED1 and in ED2? I don't think so. Either way, I can bank these for sure. Yeah, so let me just check before I empty them out of my bank. Blackstone Heart. Okay, what drops these? ED3 and Zamorak. Okay, so I can bank these. Dang, I was 100 something mil. It's kind of nuts. And then the rest of this should be good to just stay in here. Oh, let me see Blackstone arrow tips. Blackstone arrow tips. What drops these? Crassian, Terracat, and Bass. Okay, and I can bank these as well. Okay, cool. Yeah, I mean, I'm just doing it because I need to finish log. I don't care at all that they're actually crashing. Obviously, if you need money and that's the thing you're farming, it sucks that they're crashing, but that has nothing to do with me. So here, let me withdraw these so I can sell these. Then we'll go over to Kerapac. Dude, cleaning out my elite dungeon chest was, or not my elite dungeon chest, my sanctum chest was nuts. I think the final price check, yeah, it was 809 mil for the trash loot, which is kind of sick. Why are they crashing? No idea. It's hard to know why anything crashes. Like, unless it's a super obvious, this is getting farmed a lot, it's really hard to know. Okay, so we'll do this, we'll do this. Apparently the ED2 codices are crashing. Man, I do not remember how to do Kerapac. Or at least some of the very specific timing stuff. Well, today might be the day to learn. Depends on if I remember how to kill this boss. Langs are crashing too. Interesting. Yeah, I mean, Kerapac's music is so good. Oh, I remember. I was supposed to life transfer there. I remember now. I'm starting to remember a thing or two. I don't know what these frame drops are, though. Okay, these frame drops are crazy. I do not know what's going on right now. Okay, it looks like they stopped, so that's good. Okay, so this phase is obliterating my frames. So I need to figure out what is going on there. I am not sure what's going on right now, but hopefully we can fix it after this. I don't think it's anything I have open, so I'm just kind of lost. Oh, you know what? I was supposed to devotion. I was supposed to time warp devotion. Okay, not bad. Wonder what's my PB? How far off was that from a PB? I feel like it was really far off. Yeah, 319. Yeah, that kill was pretty slow. Not sure why Fracture Staff is crashing. Fracture Staff is going down because there isn't a great reason to have a physical Fractured Staff. Okay, so is it something in my settings? I don't know why my frame rate was so bad there. Maybe it's just RuneScape being cringe again. Here, we'll put it on Ultra, I guess. Yeah, we'll put it on Ultra. Let me open up my task manager, see if I have anything open. Were you guys seeing the frame drops, or was that just me? Because it's possible that was just me. Okay. Yeah, let me see if there's anything like super obviously using up a ton of stuff. Okay. I think that's everything. Could be Steam. You know how Steam gets. I'm just gonna force close Steam. Bro, classic Steam. Okay, so this time we're gonna also, I do need to refill my bless flask. So that's probably step one here. How do I make extreme prayers? Extreme prayer potion, RS3. Super prayer, primal extract, spark heighten. Oh, I have a lot of this. I just need to actually make them. All right, we might be taking a short detour to World A84 to make some of these potions. It's so nice having a cash stack again. I guess I'll buy more super prayers. So I'll buy 199 super prayers. I'll make like a full inventory of these. Well, I'll refill my blessed flask once, and then after that, we'll just like chill for a little bit. Or any of these that I'm not using. Probably this Araxor one, honestly. I keep remaking this like once a month, so we'll just do that again. Luck ring, just in case. These don't matter. This doesn't matter. And then it's... I guess I'll put my Blessed Flask on the preset. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, this one stacks, so I can do this. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then this. Okay, perfect. Okay, we'll make potions to fill out my Blessed Flask, and then we'll go back to Kerapac. Bulg is 500 mil down. That's so much. Jeez. Like, getting frame drops here isn't that weird. Where's the portable well? Oh, it's right here. Okay. Whoever put this here is definitely a cop. Okay, and then I'll finish that off stream. Cause Herblor's cringe. I wonder if this is in hard mode. It should be. Well, they put it in normal mode too. I don't know why it let me rejoin a hard mode instance in normal mode. I guess it's because I hopped worlds. So I think if I do this, it'll make the fight hard mode. So far, no crazy packet loss, or no crazy like frame drops. We'll see if it keeps up. You done the tank test achievement? What is that? Is that the one where like you let him do the melee thing until he like times himself out? Because if it's that, then yes, I have done that. But if it's something else, then no. Oh, I actually remembered what I was supposed to do here. Maybe this is just fine. I don't love this rotation, but maybe it's just fine. Oh, it's never jump into it. Oh no, I have not done that. That sounds very evil. I'm down to try it at some point, but like right now I'm kind of getting like reaccustomed to the fight, so.
Look at what you've done. You fractured the threads of time.
Did I do that right? I did. Okay, that kill was very slow, but we did the thing. My general thoughts on Script of a Masket is that it's almost certainly best in slot against poisonable bosses. Oh yeah, I can imagine the tank test being basically free in groups. Like, I would just believe that on its face. I mean, the damage does feel really good here. Now, obviously, a good amount of this is going to be I have level 100 now instead of level 95, but like, this feels pretty good. Man, what great music this boss has. Oh, I just trolled. It's like fine, but I definitely trolled. And I just trolled it even more. That's good. Luckily, it doesn't matter. That's one of the good things about Necro is that like you can position in a way where even if you mess up, you just don't get punished for it because the skulls will just kill the rift. Like it's super, super nice that Necro's that forgiving here. That felt pretty good. Dang, those primal stone spirits are still pretty expensive, huh? Any guesses what the new zone will be? It's hard to say. Like, it could be anything. Like, it could be, like, tied into some of the new lore that's coming out, in which case, like, an underworld area would be kind of nuts. And that would be just cool to experience. Oh yeah, hard mode Kerapac's loot is really nuts. I've done a lot of Kerapac. It's just, like, with the addition of the primal stone spirits, it feels like his loot is, like, very, very consistent. Which I guess it's always been, but... kind of. How many shards? I finished the log with 4 shards. Is boss doable if you suck at PvP? I mean, listen, I think most bosses are pretty doable. Hard mode Kerapac, like, pushes your defensive knowledge to its limits in a lot of ways. So if you're not very familiar with using your defensives, hard mode Kerapac's probably gonna feel like a huge drag. Yeah, if you feel like you're doing a normal mode and it's going like relatively smoothly basically every time you do it, then hard mode could be something that you try. It's just not the type of encounter. It's just like not that type of encounter in a lot of ways. Like, normal mode does not adequately prepare you for hard mode in my opinion.
7 minutes. 7 minutes is all I can spare to play with you.
Thanks, Creation, for the follow. Appreciate it. Ooh, I should not have used that last skulls. I thought I was still good. That's unfortunate. Unfollow to refollow. True, true.
You fractured the threads of time.
I subbed but no notification. Yeah, that's unfortunate. I don't think it's anything on my end, unfortunately, so rip, I guess. Oh, you can snap back to your time warp early. I did not know that. I had no idea that that was a thing. Been thoroughly enjoying your guides. Nice, that's awesome. So, the going back and forth between echoes is like a speed killing strat. It's not necessarily the safest, but each echo has full health. So that's something to keep in mind. It's like each echo, you go into each echo with full health. Typically, you only jump into one of them. So what I usually do is I jump into one of them, and then I power burst on that echo because it maintains its max health. So I power burst on that echo, jump to a second one, use my adrenaline, and then go back to the first one. I'm pretty sure I'm even doing it wrong, because basically if you leave an echo after power bursting it, it'll maintain that health. The echo staying alive means that Kerapac doesn't hit you because it's hitting your echo. Oops. Oh well. Shouldn't matter in the grand scheme of things. I just like messed up my keybinds there, but it should be fine. Yes, because Kerapac's like echoes are hitting you for like 4Ks through your prayer. So one echo staying alive for longer buys you a significant amount of time. Thanks, Killer, for the sub. Appreciate it. I think I did that wrong, but we'll see. Yeah, that's what I figured. No, it's okay. So basically you jump to one of the echoes because any echo that you jump to, it like stores its max health. So what I'm doing is I'm jumping to an echo and then power bursting it and then leaving. And the longer that your echo stays alive is the longer that that echo isn't hitting you. So what I just did there is I power bursted the middle echo. So that echo is going to stay alive quite a bit longer. Now, because the echo is going to stay alive longer, that means... I shouldn't have left that early. That means that this clone isn't going to hit. Because this echo is still alive. So you see how I'm just not taking any damage at all here because this echo is still hitting this guy and these two echoes are dead. So it just makes my life a lot easier. Hey, how's it going? Does the book from Sanctum Rebirth help? Yes, it's very good at poisonable bosses. How have you been, Lex? Are you feeling any better? Yeah, having to get the 4 shards is just it's a lot. But you know me, fresh out of the Sanctum prison, so I have a new lease on life, so I'm going to my least favorite boss, Kerapac. But yeah, the new scripture should be best in slot at poisonable bosses. I'm not 100% certain, but just like in theory it should be. And then in practice it's felt very powerful. Like, I don't know about you guys, but this damage feels pretty nuts. Just like whichever you plan on learning long term. Like, generally speaking, the solo fight is different than the duo fight, which is different from the trio fight. So it's just whatever you plan on doing long term is what you should practice. Oh, Lexi, those guys never stopped by, so that's good. I did pre-ban them from the stream, so maybe they just gave up, but they never stopped by, so. Okay, so that's the timing for it. That's good. But yeah, like you can see, like the damage with the scripture is kind of nuts. Like on top of the bonus damage that I'm doing, just the extra hit splats are really, really good. Yeah, the good thing is that it just doesn't matter with necromancy. Like there's just no penalty to missing the walk under. Like obviously try not to, right? But there's just no penalty. We just know that Blood Reaver is going to get nerfed. We don't really know a whole lot about it. I power bursted like way too late. Or a life transferred rather. Did they say what they were changing about it specifically? Oh. Oops. I trolled. Yeah, but did they say what they were nerfing about specifically? Let me see if they put out like a news post about it. RuneScape.com. I mean, like, we knew the Blood Reaver was getting nerfed, so I don't know why like people are upset about it now. Basically, the issue with Blood Reaver is that the way it interacts with poison currently is a bug. It's not supposed to work the way it does with poison. The Blood Reaver's typeless damage isn't supposed to be coming from us, which means it's not supposed to proc poison. It's supposed to come from the Blood Reaver. So, like, that's what we know for a fact is guaranteed changing. What's going on, sis CTJ? How are we doing? I mean, nerfing is always like weird in PvE games, and it's something that should be dealt with relatively gracefully. But I think the biggest thing to keep in mind is that like the integrity of the game is relatively important, and the purpose of nerfs in PvE games is to open up the meta to like non-meta builds, right? Like, you nerf something like Blood Reaver. Yes, because the Blood Reaver's damage isn't going to be able to proc poison. Like, they may also change the way the Blood Reaver heals in general. But, or like the way it does its damage in general. So, for instance, they might change it so that, like, oh, once the Blood Reaver reaches a certain threshold of damage, that's when it's actually going to, like do its damage. That way you're not getting a ton of like 1s and 2 hit spots. Like that's something that they could do for sure. But yeah, the general gist is that poison, the way it functions now, is not how it's supposed to function. But Jagex also like told us that's kind of the case, right? Okay, my damage is like insane. I don't know if it's still gonna be insane, but that damage is kind of nuts. Well, that's not good. I did not mean to kill that guy as fast as I did. Maybe it'll be fine. Looks like it'll be fine. So is it? Yeah, right now I'm using tier 100 damage. But yeah, so like to talk more about like why Blood Reaver is getting nerfed and why nerfing is important in PvE games. One of the issues is that because Blood Reaver exists in the way it does, no new boss is allowed to be poisonable. Because the way the Blood Reaver is poisoned like invalidates bosses that have a certain threshold of HP. So you can fix that by leaving the Blood Reaver the way it is and giving bosses way more HP, but then it makes a lot of bosses like non-viable for people who aren't using the Blood Reaver in the interaction. That is really bad. I'll have to deal with that later. Okay, should be dealt with now. For any tier 95 weapon. So like Blood Reaver is still really crazy at all the poisonable bosses. You should probably still be using it at all the poisonable bosses, but just know that at some point that interaction is going to be different. When do I get pet? That's a great question. Yeah, it is really nice that Necro can just mess up Walk Under and there's like no consequences to it. Like, yeah, you take a little bit more damage, but like, that's not really a consequence. Not in the same way that the other styles, like the kill is just ruined.
Look at what you've done. You fractured the threads of time.
Can you tell me his next kill? I mean, I can. You're not gonna be too happy with me if I'm wrong, but I can. Oh, my Blood Reaver is super dead. Yeah, goodbye, King. You playing Group Iron Man? Maybe. Well, we'll see. I don't have a group yet, so don't know. Still in that 1,000 series kills on mobile. I don't know why you're doing that to yourself, but as long as you're happy, I'm happy for you. If for no other reason, I want them to change Blood Reaver because I'm really bad at maintaining my Blood Reaver and I keep letting them die. So if they could get rid of that for that reason alone, like, I'm in. Honestly, maybe you just don't even use scrolls on Kerapac. I could totally see you just not even bothering with scrolls. Yeah, I mean, listen, it's definitely broken. Like, for those who don't know, like, Bic arrows are still the most powerful thing in the game, and it's not close. Like, the main reason why they haven't been, like, gutted into the ground is because they stopped making poisonable bosses. But that should go to show you how powerful poison really is, if they have to stop making poisonable bosses. This damage is really crazy, though. No, it doesn't increase like that hit cap because that hit cap is built into the engine. That's not like a, oh, this is the biggest number that is possible to hit. It's more, this is the biggest number that like the game is gonna let you hit. I don't know what I just did, but it was not. It was just extremely not. Yeah, whatever I just did was horribly wrong. Yeah, I'm just, wow. That was mad. Yeah, I think accessibility is generally really good for the game. I don't feel like managing defensive, so I'm just gonna barricade here. Just makes life so much easier. Just barricade, chill. I mean, I feel like a lot of people, or generally the main argument, I just let it die again. The main argument for being super like anti-necro is that a lot of the high-end PVMers feel like their accomplishments are degraded. What's going on, John? How are we doing? Like a lot of them feel like, oh, because people can do all the stuff that I was doing without as much effort, that means that the fact that I can do it is meaningless. Obviously, that's dumb, but that's how a lot of people feel, so. Is it actually bad? True. It's like, because I know that I don't like it, but I don't like Souls likes. Bro, if I got hit during a cutscene, I would freak out. Because, like, imagine you, like, don't have enough health to survive the hit. I would have a meltdown, Gary. That's so toxic. So, like, even if you go in with max health, you get hit down to 1 HP, or like you can go in with more health to like survive the hit. Oh, sick. So if you're just under full HP, you just get blasted for free. That's good. I think that's really awesome. That really makes me want to play the game. Bro, I'm telling you, Souls-likes, they're just cringe, bro. Like, I don't know. I think people who like Souls-likes, they just hate themselves, which, like, relatable, but no. If I'm gonna, like, self-harm, I'm just gonna play League of Legends instead of playing a Souls-like. Oh, that was not correct. I did that a little bit wrong. I don't think it matters, but I did that. Bro, I'm just sick of Dark Souls nerds. Dark Souls is cringe. Dark Souls nerds make me not want to ever play the game. Okay, I trolled. There's just nothing to say. I ran it down. I was being greedy with my prayer and just ran it down. I just didn't have to do that. Yeah, the only game I've felt like that in recent history is Bayonetta 3. Bayonetta 3 was one of the biggest disappointments I've ever played. Bro, China is the enemy. Why would you think they have your best interests in mind? Hello? Listen, I'm just saying, if you trusted China, that's a little bit your fault. Like, John's over here, how could you, to China? Like, what do you think was gonna happen? Bro, it's government propaganda. So I've seen the error of my ways. The only time I will trust China is for gacha games. Bro, the crazy thing about the game is I don't even know why China had to like lie about it. It's like, bro, we already know that Wukong is cool. You guys put him in every single game. You don't need to keep reminding us that Wukong's sick. Like, I believe you. Yeah, all they have is gacha waifus and COVID. And that's all of their contributions to the world stage. Bro, you got played. You actually got played. That's so funny. Bro, you actually got played. And then it was finally time for all the Americans to play. They're like, wait, this game sucks. Okay, but on a serious note, why does China put Wukong in every game? Like, Monkey King is cool. Like, I just, you don't have to keep telling me that he's cool. Like, it's just weird. Guess they weren't friends. True, friends don't let friends get baited into playing a Souls-like game. Yeah, like, I don't know, like, that's always been my issue with the Souls-likes. Like, I just, learning by trial is just not fun for me. Like, I'm adept enough at RuneScape that, like, it's fine. I'm also a content creator, so, like, in some ways it is my job to, like, learn by trial. But, like, doing it, quote-unquote, for fun in Souls-like games is just not it. I think I did that live transfer late. Well, we'll see. Yeah, it's like, it's one thing if a game is just supposed to be hard and that's the whole point. It's another thing if, like, the game has to cheat to, like, be hard. Like, why do all of that? Like, why not just be difficult? Like, just make the boss hit me harder if you need to do all of this.
Look at what you've done. You fractured the threads of
Oh, I remember why I was doing it the way I was doing it. Okay. So that life transfer is actually totally fine. Oh, that's good. Bro, we also know that Reddit can't be trusted, though. Reddit is where reasonable opinions go to die in a fire. Yeah, I don't know what's going on with Reddit, but they need to figure it out. True. Yeah, if that's the boss that just like hits you to half, I agree. We can trust that guy. Cause like there's just a way to do that isn't cringe. And you make the boss hit harder. Like that's it. Or like you give the boss an execute that plays right after each part of the cutscene. So it's like, oh, he's gonna try to execute you as soon as the fight starts. And it's like, oh, now like it's hard, but not like cheating. I don't really want to do that. Seems cringe. We no longer do Ambassador. Not doing Cal Fight Queen. Okay, well, this doesn't matter, so. I mean, if you like Raksha, then just do that, right? Like, again, the best moneymaker is the one that you're going to do. That's something I always try to keep in mind. Okay, so what other logs do we need to work on? I know we need to work on ED1 and ED2. Before he does, he stuns you. Sick. So you need to avoid the stun. If you don't avoid the stun, you get stun locked into execute. Yep, perfect. That's the classic. Blackstone Dragon, yeah. So we need to do Blackstone Dragon. We need to do ED1. I told my friends I'll do Solak tomorrow with them, so I'll probably do that tomorrow. Could be an ED1 angle. Yeah, I think it's an ED1 angle. I'm down for some ED1. So what, do you have to iframe the stun, or like you're just dead and that's it? Yeah, so you just have to iframe it? Or does that game not do that? Yeah, Souls-likes are fun for sure. So, like, what's the condition on it? Is it just if he used the stun, you're your dad smile emoji? Like, or, like, is there a trigger for it that, like, you should dodge? Oh, I see. And it can't kill you, but it'll just leave you at like 1 HP if you're not already half health. So then you have to instantly dodge the first attack at the beginning of the next phase or you just die. That sounds fun. That sounds really fun. That sounds like something I would definitely subject myself to on purpose. So, generally, if you're really struggling with Zuk, it's almost always a positioning issue. So what I would say is to like look over my guides and look at the positioning that I use and try to copy that positioning. It should make you a lot more survivable at Zuk. Well, the thing I try to remember when it comes to panicking is that, like, it's a video game, so, like, if you die in the video game, you don't die in real life. So it's, like, fine to die. Yeah, I mean, I definitely feel that. Like, again, the biggest thing, especially if you're, like, in budget gear, which, like, if you're struggling with Zuk, your gear isn't very expensive. Like, if you're paying, like, 50k death costs, are you even losing anything if you die? And I just, like, try to keep that in mind when I'm, like, learning. Yeah, like, you're losing time, but, like, cool. I mean, if you're spending that much and, like, you're regularly dying, what I would say is to bring a tier 90 tank gear and just run it with that. That way you're losing, like, 20k every time you die. And when you're not actually losing any money, it feels a lot easier to, it feels like a lot less intimidating to actually die because there are no consequences if you're losing like 20k, right? Like, you're profiting on all of the trash with all you're risking is 20k on every day. Yeah, losing time at this point. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, like, generally that's gonna be my recommendation, is that if you're like really feeling like, okay, if I, you know, like if I die, it's like especially bad. Like, if that's like if that's like too much of a mental load on you, then just bring cheaper gear. That way there's no consequences if you do actually die. Yeah, you're what I would say is, like, using best in slot gear, I just tried. No. So using your best in slot gear is fine once you're comfortable. You want to learn on your bad gear. That way you're not paying, you know, 10 mil over 20 deaths. What's going on, Iowaf? I don't know how to pronounce that. I mean, if you're regularly skipping mechanics, then that's fine. Like, if you're skipping by accident, it's a lot worse because then, like, if you don't skip it, like, how do you fix the problem? But if you're regularly skipping mechanic, I wouldn't worry about that. That wasn't bad. I skipped the like water attack. Not this, obviously. Okay, can we hit the thing, please? That is cool that he just turns off all of your stuff, though. That boss sounds really fun to fight. It's like, hey, remember all those cool abilities I just gave you? No. I think that's my least favorite mechanic in video games, and that's why I had such a big issue with Bayonetta 3. Playing as Bayonetta in Bayonetta 3 is the most fun I've had in a Bayonetta game. And the game forces you to not play as Bayonetta so often. Yeah, I am. Oh, that's good. Yeah, boss sounds really fun. I heard that Elden Ring had that issue where a lot of the mobs would just input read, and it's like, okay, like, it's like if you need to make the enemies cheat, then like obviously something is not working here. I mean, isn't that basically just input reading, though? Like, obviously semantics, but, like, isn't that just input reading with extra steps? When does this thing phase? Doesn't it phase at, it phases at 7,200, right? Like, I would consider reacting to frame 1 like that's input reading in my mind, but I'm also coming from like the fighting game perspective, where it's like, if someone reacted to like frame 1 of my move, they're just cheating. I feel like I super messed up. I would be very surprised if I got Forest. Yeah, I super messed up. Oh, actually, no. I did. I forgot you're supposed to wait. Never mind, forgot you're supposed to wait. I messed up. Well, also, they only have those insane reaction times. Yeah, I don't know. Like, my whole take on that, just I feel like if a game needs to make the enemies cheat, then there's something like something isn't working. Like, I don't mind an enemy reacting to me, but it needs to react in like an amount of time that makes sense. Like, the human reaction time is like 20 frames. Like, it's, you know, about a third of a second. Oh, sure. I know when I played Elden Ring, it felt like the enemies were cheating. Or not Elden Ring, Sekiro. That felt like the enemies were cheating, but I might just not be used to Souls-like games. What's going on? How we doing? Oh, I guess I don't need this, right? Because the bosses I'm fighting aren't poisonable. I think the only other game that I think the devs should have just unreleased and polished is Cyberpunk. Because, like, obviously, I didn't deal with any bugs with Cyberpunk. I had a great time. There are so many people who were just permanently off Cyberpunk because of how the launch went. Like, and like, to be fair, the game was basically unplayable on the older consoles. Like, 100%, I think it's totally valid to be like ultra down on Cyberpunk if you had a old or a last gen console. I mean, I think the worst thing that happened to Cyberpunk was them trying to make it work on the older consoles. Like, they should have just, listen guys, we can't get it to work on your old busted PS4, which, like, that's fine, there's nothing wrong with that. But they should have just said, listen, we tried, can't figure it out. And it's like, okay, that's fine. So, like, if you pre-release it on PS4, we'll refund the game, and then, like, that's it. One of these is not supposed to be here. Is this the guy? Maybe it's this guy. Okay, it was that guy. My understanding is that Cyberpunk is like fine now on last gen, but on release the game was unplayable. I mean, the game worked for me, so I just didn't have any problems with it. Like, I had one crash. I had one crash, and it was on day one, like before the day one patch or whatever. So I had one crash, and then I fell through the map once. Oh, I know there was that loading issue that we had with the opening cutscene, right? Yeah, there was the cutscene where the opening montage with Jackie just didn't load. Like, that was just bugged. But I guess to Cyberpunk's detriment, that was recently. Yeah. So like, which that's worse, right? That's definitely worse that was recently. But on release, I fell through the map once and my game crashed once. And like, that was it. Yeah, I never had any of those issues. Yeah, because once I moved it, like, we just had no more issues, I thought. I'm dead. I just didn't move. I don't know why I didn't move. Okay, don't do that. That was really dumb. Dude, I can't believe it took me so long to figure out how the execute worked and that it healed you. It took me so long to figure that out. The game was like borderline impossible on the difficulty I was playing it on. Then I figured that out and it's like, wait, this is so free. Oh, was my ghost locked out? I didn't even realize that. I thought I was just bad, so I just like accepted the death. It's around the time the power went up to your head. I only blasted that one guy, and I went back and undid it because I was wrong. I shouldn't have blasted. Well, let me not say shouldn't have blasted him. He had his chance to explain himself. Listen, all I'm saying is, if you're gonna mess with me, the main character, just know I got the Mac loaded. Oh. Oh, I'm just trolling today. That's fine. Oh yeah, there was that shady murderer guy who was selling snuff films. I had to blast him. I think that was totally reasonable. I think only an honorable individual would do what I did. It was a film of someone getting murdered. He was selling that in Cyberpunk. So, you know, I had to make that guy excommunicado. Yeah, exactly. Correct. That's why I killed that guy. He was editing it. That's worse. That means he was watching it and was like, ooh, dollar signs. Sounds good to me. No, it's even worse that he was editing it. Listen, I'm just saying, terrible job to have. Listen, if I could have found the other guy, I would have blasted him too. It's like, listen, he could have got a job at Walmart with like the rest of us. Bro, I'm just saying. He saw a video of someone getting murdered. He said, I can do that. He said the camera angles here are just all wrong. I can fix all that. And guess what? That's why he got blasted. Listen, the only guy I probably shouldn't have blasted was that one agent, but I undid that one. I apologize for blasting that guy, so I'm exonerated for that one. Listen. Wasn't there a way to make the Jad waves faster? I mean, what do you mean by that? Because, like, yeah, there's ways, but it sounds like with your experience with Zuck, that's like not where your focus should be. Speeding up Jad waves. Your focus should probably be somewhere else. Oh, for the fight caves, if you have the tier 80 gear, and like if you have soul split, actually I didn't even use soul split. I literally AFK'd the entire thing. Like, got up from my computer and just came back 20 minutes later and killed John.
Seven minutes. 7 minutes is all I can spare to play with you.
Thanks, Pedro, for the follow. Appreciate it. Yeah, I literally just went like full AFK, got it from my computer, and did something else. Yeah, no, you have to get it from the actual
7
fight
minutes.
page.
7 minutes is all I can spare to play with you.
Thanks, Splonk, for the follow. Appreciate it. I will say, I've been getting the itch to play Cyberpunk again. I'm thinking tomorrow we're gonna like pick back up the file I was on and just play through the rest of the main story. This boss is boring. Yeah, Masuda's lame. Like, obviously Masuda was designed at a different time where if you were soloing, it was very easy to get overwhelmed by these. Starfield, I can't believe I let you trick me into playing a Bethesda game. That's my greatest failure. Bro, it's a Bethesda game, bro. I should have known better. I let me play a Bethesda game, and like I take the L on that one. Bethesda cannot be trusted, and I knew that Bethesda couldn't be trusted, and I kept playing it. So like, no, that's my bad. I've learned my lesson. Well, what Shattered Space? Is that the new DLC? Listen, if you like it, like, that's totally fine. Like, I just know. I know the truth about the Bethesda. And truth is, they've never been made a good game.
Seven minutes. 7 minutes is all I can spare to play with you.
Thanks, Tiagode? Is that how I pronounce that? I hope so, because that's what I said. Listen, as long as you're having fun, that's what matters, right? It is now true. Well, I could have told you that. Imagine thinking you're gonna enjoy yourself with a Souls-like game. Couldn't be me. $19 scales, that's not bad. They said it's not. Well, yeah, that's true. That's true. That one is not your fault. They did literally say it's not a Souls-like. That one's not on you. Let me see what games I have in my Steam library, because I know I want to play through Cyberpunk again. So, or I want to like finish the main story. Because I haven't played through that in a while, and I need to see Saul get stomped out again because he pissed me off. I'm not saying that he necessarily deserved it. But if I was Adam Smasher, I would have done the same thing. You have guides on hard mode, Sanctum, and Vorkath? Yep. True. Is this guy chill? Because a lot of people in this French chat are extremely unhinged. Because your take on hard mode guide helped me out a lot. Yeah, no, I have guides for every boss in the game besides super high enraged Zamorak and super high enraged Telos. And Croceus. I don't have a Croceus guide out yet, but I'm gonna be honest. I don't know if like there's a market for that. Like if people want Croceus guides, I can definitely just make one and have one out like tomorrow. But I figured that people like Croceus is pretty solvable by now. Well, so my personal, I think we've talked about this before. My personal take on Phantom Liberty is that like that ending screams, we didn't have time to give you the ending we actually want. Like that's what that ending says to me, is that if we had 6 more months to work on this, we would have had like a future Night City that you guys could have played around in. Which is like playing through the main game is still like super fun. No, that did not strike me as bittersweet at all. That struck me as we said this is when the DLC is coming out and we were not ready to release it at this time. Like, that's what it felt like to me. Now, that could be me just being jaded with, like, game devs, but that's what that seemed like. Or even, like, instead of it there being, like, because, like, the true, like, best case scenario was we got a future Night City to play in, right? But, like, even beyond that, even just having, like, you know, a 20-minute, like, movie at the end that's just, like, this is your new life after you got out of a coma. Like, that didn't seem that unreasonable to me. But again, it just seemed like they ran out of time and had to meet deadlines. Yeah, she's like, that ending was very Pan Am. But at the same time, it's like, did we really not want to just animate a 2-minute cutscene of, like, her having that meltdown in person and then being like, oh, you're, like, not dead. Like, I'm so mad at you, but also you're not dead and, like, you're my best friend. And, like, I'm so glad you're not dead. Like, would it really have killed them to make that 2-minute cutscene? But yeah, like, that's what I mean by it feels rushed. Like, that whole thing screamed to me, yeah, deadline smile. Which, like, if that's what it is, that's what it is, right? But yeah, well, wave 30, yeah. Regular fight caves is very, very cool. But yeah, like, I definitely have no, like, desire to play through Phantom Liberty again. But just, like, playing through the main game does sound like a lot of fun.
7 minutes is all I can spare to play with you.
Thanks, Aquas, for the follow. Appreciate it. You know, yeah, and then, like, the Judy ending also didn't make any sense because, like, Judy's a ride or die. That's her whole thing. That's her whole personality, is that, like, if you're her person, like, she'll be there, right? So, like, why didn't she just go with you and then just stay with you for the coma? Like, she seems like the type of person who, like, she would just sit there next to you until the doctor says, yeah, she's dead. Or until you wake up, you know. Well, like, the main story, like, isn't fresh in my head, right? That's kind of where I'm at. Yeah, exactly. So yeah, like that again, like it's just more like instances of this is very obviously like not the product that like the designers wanted to deliver. Or like the story writers wanted to deliver. Because like you're telling me that this girl that followed around Evelyn until the end of time, like that same girl is like, oh, I'm just gonna let you get whisked away on a helicopter to potentially oblivion, and I'm just gonna move on with my life. Like, come on. Like, it definitely doesn't give me true end vibes. Honestly, he's way more fun to play than Calcharo. I don't like the way he looks, but his kit is really fun. Like, he's definitely a cringe boy. But yeah, I do enjoy his kit quite a bit. Oh, nice. I got Masuda's War Spear doubled. Pretty's playable right now. That's probably true. I haven't logged in to today. Which is fine, I guess, because like I have overflow resin, so like that's a little bit annoying, but it's fine. That's the whole point of the overflow resin, right? Is that you're allowed to just not play if anything comes up. I mean, honestly, I wouldn't even mind that. Like, having a cap to overflow resin is like a little bit strange. Not so much so that I'm like, I don't understand why they did this, but it is a little bit. Like, if someone wants to not play for 2 weeks, then log back in, spend all of their resin, and not play for 2 weeks, like, are you getting hurt by denying them that? I don't think so, but like maybe the company feels like they are. Yeah, it's definitely annoying. Like, I can see why people don't like the idea of, like, okay, like, why are you forcing me to log in every single day? Like, if I don't want to log in, like, let me not log in. This is so greedy, and I'm getting punished for it. It shouldn't matter, but super, super greedy. Okay, ancient scales, let's go. Yeah, like, I don't mind playing daily in Wuthering Waves. Like, obviously, you do. Like, I don't mind logging in every day, like playing for 10 minutes and logging out. Like, it doesn't bother me. Especially because I just like pressing my buttons in that game. Oh, that was not correct. So, like, logging in, hitting stuff for 10 minutes, doing all my dailies, and logging out, like, I'm
7
down
minutes.
to do that.
7 minutes is all I can spare to play with you.
Thanks, Kyle, for the follow. Appreciate it. Is your name a reference to Mass Effect? Because I saw the Kyle Shep, and I'm like, huh, wait a second. Do we have a Commander Shepard in the chat? Bro, I'm kind of feeling some Mass Effect 3. I've been feeling Mass Effect 3 for a while. Oh, and there it is. That checks out. I've definitely been feeling the Mass Effect 3. Bro, I told you that Genshin was lame. I don't know why you don't listen to me. Did they put her idle animations in yet, or does she still look super weird? The only issue is the first game kind of sucks to stream. Like, they're all not great to stream, because if you're not attached to Mass Effect, like, it's a lot of talking. The first one is especially bad, though. 25 minutes is totally serviceable for hard mode Zuk. Like, once you're comfortable at Zuk, you probably want to get that number down to, like, 20 minutes. But, like, anything sub 30 is totally fine, and you're killing it if you're sub 20. Yeah, it's also the type of game where, like, if you miss out on the first 2 streams, you just hop into stream 3 and you're just lost. So, like, it's something I'll probably have to announce, like, well beforehand, like, hey, this is what I'm doing on these days. So, like, if you don't care, that's fine, but if you do care, like, try to tune in for all of this. Yeah, exactly. I mean, and it's also another issue of, like, being a certain size, right? Those streams are obviously gonna do, like, poorly compared to my regular stuff. So, like, taking a big hit in my viewership is, like, something I also need to weigh in. But, like, maybe it's not that big of a deal. We'll see. Oh yeah, Morinth was crazy. I remember Morinth. She was definitely a psycho. If that was my daughter, not anymore. Yeah, she was definitely excommunicado if that was my daughter. Just saying. Oh yeah, you get obliterated, which is exactly what we knew was gonna happen. I just took Samara's word for it. Having trouble being the necromancy boss. Which phase are you getting stuck at? But it'll be a lot easier to know, like, what to suggest if I know where you're at. I mean, she was just like, she was also evil. So like, it's hard. Like, I'm not saying I necessarily disagree. She was just obviously not a good person. I think one of my favorite things about Mass Effect is that, like, even though, like, each species look different, you can kind of tell, like, a certain character's disposition, even if they're, like, a non-human species. Like, Liara looks like a nerd. And she is. But that's really cool that Liara looks like a nerd. Second phase. So, generally, if you're super struggling with DPSing at Raciel, it means that you're focusing too much on staying alive and not focusing enough on killing. So that would be like my first recommendation, is bring more defensive, like, familiars and like a defensive aura, and rely on your auras and your Hellhound. That way you can like focus on doing more and more damage. What does Vitra look like? Let me see. I do not remember this character. Is this the one that's on the crew? Because I know that there was a Turian on our crew, but I don't actually remember. Yeah, I'm gonna be honest. I don't remember anything about her personality. All I remember was that the Asari looked like a harlot. Definitely wasn't. Which is fine. There's nothing wrong with that. But she looked the way that she looked, right? Do you need to activate the last prayer? If you mean the Codex, the tier 99 prayer, no. You don't have to do that to do Raciel. But after I do this Seiryu kill, I'll actually go through a couple Raciel kills and show you like how I go about killing it. Because it's not too bad. That's funny. I mean, I don't mind that. I just think it's really cool and like pretty funny that the characters in Mass Effect like look the way that their personalities do. I only get a few, but I'm just not really sure what you're asking right now. Like I have a lot of buffs just because like I'm an endgame player, so I just have a lot of stuff going on. I have every possible upgrade that you can get. But like me having all of these buffs isn't why I'm able or not able to kill Raciel. Like, these are just things that I'm using because they're highly effective. Yeah, and then like, if you're just like watching a movie, you just like come back to your screen as soon as Dad's dead. It's like, not bad. I mean, I've been playing for a long time, so like aspiring to be like a certain level of skill is totally fine, but just be aware of like your expectations. Cause like I do get that a lot of like, oh hey, like I want to be as good as you are one day, and like that's totally, or like, oh you're killing this really fast and I'm killing it slow, I'm bad, and it's like, listen, it's like I play this game for a living now because I've been streaming. So like me killing a boss really fast, or me like doing content that you guys may like really struggle with, like this is what I do, right? Like that's kind of the whole point. But then the other side of it is like I learn really quickly, and like I know that. Like I pick things up faster than a lot of people do. So if it takes me a week to learn something and it takes you a month to learn it, like don't like take that personally or feel like you're dumb or something. Like that's just like it's not that deep. Listen, I'm pretty good at the video game. I think that's fair to say. I don't think it's an unreasonable thing to say. But I like a lot of people are like, bro, you do this all the time. I can't do it. I'm bad. It's like, that's not like how that works. Like you would never look at like a pro player in a video game, or you never look at like a sports player and be like, yeah, I'm just ass. Like this guy's just better than me. It's like, I guess, but like you're kind of missing the whole point. Scales. That's not good. Okay, so here, we're gonna head over to Raciel now, and I'll like match my gear and stuff to what you have. So we'll use tier 90 tank armor, tier 90 weapons. You probably have a jazz book at this point, but maybe you don't, so we just won't turn it on. I have a Zuck cape. I use Hazel Mirrors because that does less damage than other rings. Bring overloads. This. I'm just not even gonna turn the book on to like make it more in my favor. Did you finish log? Yes, I did. I'm having a stroke. What am I looking for? Looking for this. I'm looking for this. Looking for this. I guess I'll bring food. Probably not gonna need it, but I might need it, so we'll bring it. And then Hellhound. I don't think I need anything else. Okay. Do you carry me through? Absolutely not. Okay, so the biggest thing about Racial is that you need to be aware of when you're going to be taking the bulk of your damage and just how you need to go about piloting the fight. So I'm using a Hellhound. This gives a lot of damage reduction. Using the tier 90 tank armor, this makes you very tanky because you have a really big max health. And I am going to use no aura, because if I summon this thing, it'll give me 5% damage reduction. So I will be squishier than you, and I will be using the same DPS aura. So here I'm using the tier 95 aura. So first, I stand up against the wall here. I should probably death mark the boss. I didn't death mark him. But the biggest thing is that you just do a living death rotation right in the beginning of the fight. It's just a lot of damage. And it's gonna be like how you carry yourself through this fight. So here, we're just doing living death rotation. And then we have Soul Spin on the entire time. We're not doing any prayer flicking or anything. Just doing the living death rotation. And he says, suffer in my hand. You put on Pray Necro. I just didn't do that, so took more damage than I should have. Just hitting the boss here. He said Rise, so he summoned his minions again, so I'm just going to use Skulls. He said this is my true power, so I'm going to put on Devotion and Protect Necro. I'm going to manually kill this guy because he is going to eventually start doing pretty big damage to me. He dashes onto us, so we just move. We'll run away from the wall. He's doing the big hit again, so I'm just going to reflect it. Volley of Souls. I think my Hellhound is going to die, but it should be fine. Okay, and then once you're in this part, the biggest thing you need to worry about is just making sure you stay moving and managing your defenses. So like, I'm gonna Resonance here, so the next time he hits me, it heals me instead. And then you just want to make sure that you keep moving. So my Resonance is on cooldown, so I'm going to use Reflect here. And like, even though like I'm not really doing the living death thing again, it just doesn't matter because I'm just trying to stay alive and make sure I keep moving. My Resonance is back up, so I'm going to use a Resonance again. And that's a kill. So yeah, it's mostly how do you attack while running. So I have a video on this on my channel. It's called Attacking While Moving, I believe. Let me see. It's part of the PVM Academy series, or the PVM Fundamental series. But, so I have ability queuing on. So you see how this button, it has like a swirl on it. So what that does is it means that the next time I click an enemy and I have an ability available, it will use this ability. So if you queue an ability and you try moving, your character will always stop to turn and face the thing that you're fighting. Like, you see how my character, it keeps stopping and turning to face the guy. So the way you stop this from happening is you press the button as soon as it's ready. So here I'm still doing the moving while attacking, but you can see that my character is never actually turning to face the target. So like that's how you stay moving there. And then that's something that you want to practice. There's a lot of bosses where this is really good at, but Raziel is the boss that tests it probably the hardest. Because if you don't, you will just get blown up. At least until you have a little bit more damage. Is salve worth it over EOF? At Raziel specifically, yes. Well, at any undead boss, yes. So what do we? Oh, I guess we can re-relog and get a Reaper. So let's do that. But yeah, so I didn't have an aura on. Yes, I would definitely practice the walking back and forth thing. Like, that's really important, specifically at Raziel. Yeah, I mean, mine is set to B. So I just press B while I'm walking back and forth. Zilliana, no, because I can just AFK that. I want to AFK that on stream. Zamorak, I haven't done Zamorak in a while. Might be a Zamorak angle. Yeah, I think it's a Zamorak angle. Let me do this and reboost my HP. But yeah, so like doing your living death rotation, and also what I just did, if that also works with power armor, it's a little bit better with power armor. But doing the damage rotation that I did, and then just making sure you're aware of all of Raziel's mechanics, the boss will not feel as daunting. This kill might be a disaster. I haven't done high enrage Zamorak in a long time. Well, not that this is high enrage, but... Ooh, do I want to use Grimoire here? I guess I can afford it because Zamorak just drops so much money, but I don't really want to spend that kind of money here. Not until I like start going back to Solak anyways. So I think we'll just use Scripture of a Masket because I want the bonus damage from full book without taking more damage. Because Zamorak will blast you for letting him do more damage to you. Okay, this should be good. I guess I do Equilibrium since I don't care about crits. So it's for sure best in slot at poisonable bosses. I think just at every poisonable boss is best in slot. Unless you're using a Grimoire at Solak, because Solak doesn't make you pay money to use Grimoire. So that aside, ooh, what order did I do? I don't remember what order. But that aside, you can also use it instead of a full book if you're like not feeling confident enough to use a full book. Like, if you feel like the extra damage from full book is going to kill you, then, yeah, it could be very good for that. I super messed up, by the way. I mistimed my volley and got blown up for it. Grimoire doesn't use charges at solo. Fire hit splats red. Because I'm hitting Zamorak's overshield right now. And when you hit his overshield, it turns your hit splats red. Yeah, I mean, Zamorak's he's a cool designed boss, I think. I just think that the boss fight's kind of lame, but like, he's definitely like a cool boss in a lot of ways. Yeah, it is a longer fight. I just don't like the enrage system here. Although I might just not like enrage systems in general, but I definitely don't like the enrage system here. Yeah, Zamorak is arguably one of the hardest bosses in the game. Bro, what is taking so long to get phased? Oh, you know what? I was too far away. Where am I going? What? I'm having a stroke. I mean, yeah, I think just like regular and rage is better than streaking. I don't like either of them, so. I'm also killing this very slowly.
Chaos will reign! You think you've won? It will never be over! Not until you lie broken!
Oh, I got a drop. Ah, it's just that easy. If it's a bow piece, I never have to come back here again. But it's not gonna be a bow piece. That's fine. We'll take 206. $206 mil is pretty good. I got legs. I was hoping it was a bow piece, so I could just never do this boss again. But it's not, so. One second. Well, now we do the 100% grind, because that's how you do this boss. You just slam 100%. So I need to keep track of how many 100% I do. Honestly, for 100%, I'm just gonna turn my book off. No reason to spend any money here at all. It's so crazy how little health he has on this enrage. That taken me like 6 months to make a normal. I mean, yeah, Zamorak's money is pretty good. Do I even need a dismissal for this? I probably don't. Yeah, I don't even need a dismissal for this. Damn, I can be so lazy with this. I don't have to use split soul, I need to use skulls. That's sick. Yeah, I got a Zamorak Reaper and I finished Nakatra, so we're just running stuff I don't have log for. I did just get Vestment's legs, which is nice too. Obviously, you want a bow piece, but more money is more better, so I am definitely chilling. Yeah, I mean, that's totally fair. Yeah, I don't typically enjoy Zamorak that much. Yeah, I mean, that's totally fair. But yeah, like, I don't typically enjoy doing Zamorak. So I definitely, like, understand being super down on Zamorak in particular. Luckily, Zamorak is a group encounter though, so if you do have friends that like do Zamorak, that is something you can do with friends. Am I gonna get my adrenaline back or what? Okay, nice. It ate my special attack. What the heck? I wonder what happened to my special attack. Most of the people who use a boss list quit this game. Yeah, that's fair. Oh, you know what? Here, let me bank here. Oh no, I'm not gonna use my rerolls on this. Maybe queued it, but overwritten by other. Like it just didn't. It didn't use my. It used my special attack, but it didn't use it on the demon. Do you have a party hat? Yeah, I have a black party hat, which isn't one of the good ones, but I do have them. Let me write this in my notes. I ended up buying it. 7 more, 100%. Yeah, I had a very good winter for bossing. Is that true? Isn't the yellow one like kind of gross? Like obviously, if someone gave me a yellow party hat, like sweet, but like I'm never buying a yellow party hat. Like let's be real here. Yeah, I feel like the issue with the gold party hat is that it doesn't match anything except the new gilded armor. Like, if you spent the money on the new gilded armor, I'm sure the gold party hat is, like, actually pretty nice. But if you haven't spent money on it, it just doesn't go with anything, because it's, like, a different texture than everything else. I think the black will drop in value. Probably. I just don't really care. I like the way it looks. Like, I didn't really get it to store wealth. I got it because I want a party hat, and the black party hat looks like it's top 3 for sure, right? Like, arguably blue and white are better. Yeah, like, whenever we're allowed to die like Dracolith, I'll probably get like full 3rd Age Dracolith and a white party hat, but like that's 150 bill in the future that I'm not actively working towards, so like that's a super long-term project. Do you used to stake? No, absolutely not. If you do a high-end bossing, you'd be surprised how fast you could come up with like 10 bill. Bad about, I mean, now's as good a time as any to learn, right?
Seven minutes. 7 minutes is all I can spare to play with you.
Thanks, Law, for the follow. Appreciate it. What would you consider high-end bossing? I mean, so if you're doing like high-end raid Zamorak, for instance, like you're gonna make more money than you could ever find something to do with. But like even like mid/low in raid Zamorak, like you're doing like 200% Zamoraks, you're gonna make money. Like you're gonna make a few hundred mil like a week just doing. You'll probably make a bill a week doing like 200% Zamoraks. Like Raksha, if you're hitting the unique table on drop rate, is decent money. Zuck, if you're hitting the unique table on drop rate and or getting fast kills, is good money. Kerapac is really good money right now just because of like how good his trash hold is. You're making like 40 mil an hour in just trash hold, right? That's not even including hitting the unique table. John, are you still here? Can you ban this guy? Oh, about time. Zippo finally got his thing. If not, I mean, I'll just ban him. That's fine. Ban. Later. Just getting good at Telos or extra. I mean, Telos very quickly becomes like a top-end moneymaker. So Telos is a good place to just like focus your efforts. Yeah, Raciel is good money too. Like super good money. Do you have Bow the Last Guardian? Yes. Is Necro stronger than a range? No. Necro, I believe, is the lowest damage style in the game right now. Thanks for the advice. Appreciate your videos. Yep, no problem. But yeah, so like climbing the rages at Telos is gonna be good money. Doing what's his name is good. Honestly, if you ever are like, which boss should I do for money? Look up RS3 money making guide. It is the very first link, and then it lets you sort by hourly profit, intensity, return on investment. It lets you sort by whatever you want. So yeah, just do that. That's gonna be your best bet, because that way you can see like, okay, what bosses am I actually capable of? Wow, Zuk is 109 mil an hour right now. It's kind of sick. Well, for me, it's 148 mil an hour because I can do four kills an hour. That's nuts. Yeah, that's sick. It's crazy how Zuk is such good money. Link it to him? Sure. So here, I'll post it here. Are you going to continue your new player? Yeah, it's something that like I've been thinking about. It's been like a little bit on the back burner since I haven't been playing on my iron. I just don't want to, so yeah, that's pretty much it. Best elite dungeon to learn solo. ED1's the best money. It's not close. In terms of mechanical difficulty, you should probably learn Ambassador at some point just to have the knowledge, but ED1's the best money. Yeah, so Seiryu isn't difficult, so it will be like a good place to learn, I think. The Seiryu is not very challenging at all, at least not in my opinion. Basically, all of his damage is completely avoidable. It's just time consuming if like your DPS is low. But in terms of like whether or not it's actually hard, I don't think it's very hard at all. So Zamorak is going to be one of the harder bosses that's worth doing. So what I mean is there are bosses that are harder than Zamorak for sure, but they're just not really worth it at the current time. So like Virago, for instance, is probably the hardest boss of the game to solo. There is no reason to do Virago right now because seismics are worthless, right? So in terms of bosses that's like worth your time, Zamorak is almost certainly the hardest boss that's worth your time to do. And by your time, I don't mean you specifically, I just mean that's worth any player like investing time into. Like at this time, unfortunately, bosses like Virago and even Solak are like not non-functional as money makers, but just you should just do Zamorak. If you're a mid-level PVMer, I think starting at normal mode Kerapac and Raksha are gonna be really good places to start. Normal mode Kerapac is relatively simple and very good money. Raksha is a pretty big step up, but it teaches you how to soul split flick, which is essentially mandatory in high level PVMing. So like having a boss teach you like a mandatory skill, I think makes it a lot better. It makes it a lot more viable. Yeah, like that's the thing about Zamorak is that if you're doing like a lot of the best like Zamorak killers in the world, just they kill him so fast. So Goat, for instance, is a content creator on Twitch who does Zamorak. He does 2K Zamoraks in 6 minutes. So he does like 9 2K Zamoraks an hour. That's 180 mil an hour in trash loot. If he never hits a rare again, he's getting 180 mil an hour. Like, that's insane. What are the hard I mean, just having Soul Split. If you don't have Soul Split already, like, Soul Split is gonna be more and more mandatory. Just as you get into higher and higher level bossing, Soul Split just becomes more and more important. Yeah, exactly. Like, because Zamorak has bad luck mitigation, like, the best Zamorakers in the world are making, like, 400 mil an hour. And it's like, okay, why do anything else? And, like, you don't need to be a best Zamoraker in the world, too. And that's just, like, the best part about the boss. You can kill 3 2K Zamoraks an hour, so that's a 20-minute kill. You're getting 60 mil an hour in trash loot. Like, we're not talking about the 9 that, you know, the best players in the world are doing. If you can get 3 kills an hour, you're getting 60 mil an hour in trash loot. I don't know if any boss is dropping 60 mil an hour in trash loot besides Zamorak. Maybe Solak? Because of pages? And then maybe Solo Rago right now because the energies are like really high for some reason. Yeah, I mean, listen, like maybe this is an unpopular opinion. If you're in Iron Man and if you're a hardcore and you die to something that you can teleport out of, I don't feel bad. Like, does it suck? Absolutely. Just teleport. Like, I don't know what to tell you. Oh yeah, because like for me, I'm getting, I think, like 50 mil an hour in trash loot, and that's solo. I don't think Solak is boring. I think Solak is sweet. Okay, so I guess we'll grab one more Reaper and then we'll see what it is, and if it's like a quick one, we'll do another Reaper and then we'll just chill. Masca. Yeah, I think so. I'm gonna put out a video either tomorrow or the day after that talks about script-driven Masca. I think it's very good. Alright, what boss do you guys want to see that's not Kerapac? And not Virago. I'm not doing Virago tonight. But yeah, basically, Scripture of a Masket is going to be best in slot at any poisonable boss. Yeah, not doing Bandos, that's for sure. Yeah, no, it should be best in slot at any poisonable boss. I haven't done Zuk in a long time, so I think we're going to do Telos. Should be best in slot at poisonable bosses. Man, do I even have a Telos preset? I think I do. Is this one? So we do this. We do this. So at poisonable bosses, you're just gonna get more mileage out of Scripture of a Masket. I did an hour of ED1 earlier. Not that I'm like ultra opposed to it. I just did an hour earlier, so like, I'm chilling right now. I guess I'll pre-build. Pre-building's really good at tunnels. I mean, I don't mind like doing stuff for money. I just don't need money right now, so like I'm chilling. That's kind of where I'm at. Oh, am I on a streak? Interesting. Okay. Am I gonna lose my pre-build? No, I'm not. Oh, I guess I started a streak from 0. Oh well, that's what we're doing. I gotta say, this boss is very non-threatening up until like 1,000 in rage. I mean, there are so many scriptures of a Masket in the game. There is nothing I could possibly say that like makes the price go up. Oops. Oh, I forgot the golems just don't matter also. Oh yeah, I'm not even at 100, so I'm not gonna get P5. Yeah, I wonder why I started a new streak. I don't remember why. The stock at 400% Zamorak. Any tips? So what I would say is start at a lower enrage and then get super comfortable at a low enrage. So like do 250s and just do 250s over and over again until you're like no fooding P7. After you do that, go back to 400. Because if you're struggling basically anywhere between like 500 and 899, what's happening is your rotation isn't very consistent. And as you get higher and higher in rage, you're getting punished for it not being very consistent. So that means you need to clean up your rotation so that when you're getting to the enrages where you're taking a little bit more damage, it's not as bad. Why is this route clickable from over there? What is that? Yeah, that was psychotic. I don't know what that was. You have a necro rotation guide? Yeah, I have one for like living death. ED1 to use a massacre jazz. You can use whatever you want. I have a full book and full book is free, so I just use a full book. Like to actually run a full book is free, so I just use full book there. Yeah, and like I got my full book as a drop, so why not use it, right? Yeah, buying a full book definitely feels really bad. Oh yeah, I guess there was a time where they were like, man, how much was full book? Like 260 mil or something? It was really cheap for a while. Maybe it was even cheaper than that, honestly. Oopsies. That never not like that always feels suspect. It's more than that. They're like 600 or 700. They might have come back down, but I've heard of people paying like 750. Like, they're really expensive. Oh, you know what? I got a drop. That's why I reset my enrage. Yeah, I know like a week or two ago, they were like 6, 7. But 530, like, that's still a lot. Yeah, basically whatever gear is best in slot is going to like skyrocket whenever a new boss comes out. So like if you have all of your skilling offhands now, that's going to be good because you know they're all going to spike as soon as the new skilling boss drops. Honestly, I might do some Zuk. I might try to get a sub 15. Yeah, there's a bunch of skilling offhands. I don't know exactly how many there are, but there's like 6 of them or something. I do like how once you're like comfortable with Telos, you basically can't die to long range Telos. What's going on, Dooley? How we doing? So there are offhand items, or there are items that you can wield in your offhand slot that have skilling benefits. Therefore, skilling offhand. What's your highest in rage? At a boss, I think I have 1800 or something at Glacier. Yeah, I have 1728 at Glacier. Most of them come from Croceus, yes. So now I need to figure out what to do about these guys. So here I just kill these. I'll walk out, stun him, then go back in. And then here we just threads these guys. Worth the 300 mil? I don't have a good answer for that, unfortunately. Like, I think all of the skilling offhands are good. The issue is money doesn't mean anything to me, so I don't know if they're worth the money. Like, how much is Fire Torch? Isn't Fire Torch like 500 mil? Like, this one's probably like, yeah, it's really hard to evaluate how good these are, whether or not they're worth the money. Like, this mining one makes you get ore faster. It will always pay for itself at some point. This wood cutting one gives you extra success rate and gives you extra logs. This will always pay for itself at some point, especially if you're doing money making wood cutting. So if you're doing like elder trees, if you're doing magic logs, this will always pay for itself at some point. What's this? increase the chance of encountering multiple dinosaurs, this will always pay for itself at some point. Like, this is actually really good if you do a lot of big game hunter. It's not amazing if you don't do big game hunter, but if you do, this is very good. Will this pay for itself? I mean, this makes you do archaeology faster, so yeah, like this will pay for itself too, right? So yeah, like all of these will eventually pay for themselves. The most worth it is probably the Hypno Wand. Yeah, like, listen, if a new thing comes out and it does a thing, I just buy it. But yeah, like Hypno Wand is probably the best one. But like all of these are good. Like they're all worth having. They will all pay for themselves eventually. The question is, when is eventually, and is that something that like, is that a time frame that you're happy with? I like big game hunter, so like I bought the Hypno Wand specifically because I like big game hunter. Now I would have bought it anyways because I have the money, but I do like it for big game hunter. The arc one goes up every day. I don't know why. I feel like it's like fine. Like I don't think it's that good, but like again, doesn't matter to me. So. But yeah, I like big game hunter, so like that's probably something I'm going. They can all be sold back, so there is never any cost in terms of like, oh, I don't know if I can get the thing. Like that's not a real concern with the skilling offense. Now, obviously, if you buy one and it goes down a lot after you buy one, that feels bad. But like, that's how all gear works. Typically, my recommendation for gear is don't buy gear that you can't afford to use. And if you buy something, then like keep it. I think reselling your own gear, yeah, but it's just low in rate Telos. It literally just doesn't matter. Like I'm never dying to 80% Telos. Once I finish Zamorak log, Telos is probably going to be the next big thing that I work on. I mean, Kerapac is like, or Sanctum is really crazy money. Like, the wiki has Sanctum at 145 mil an hour. That's a really good. I hate Art Glacier. That is my least favorite boss in the entire game, so I will not be going for the Art Glacier title. Because 3 of the boss's 5 mechanics exist purely to waste your time. Like, that's the whole point of those mechanics, is to waste time. And then at high enrage, like, you'll just get back-to-back time waste and it's just not fun. And the boss is buggy, so like you'll just die to random stuff and that's not fun. No, it's all good. I can like piece together what you're trying to say. It's so funny though that like a lot of people were crying that the new weapons dropping in normal mode is why they're so cheap, when the reality is 83% of all weapons come from hard mode. That's just very funny to me. When the heck did you get a party hat? I've had this since like January. I've had this for quite a while. Back when I did the last bingo, that's when I got it. Like the So Rainy bingo, when I did that one, which that's happening in January again, and I am gonna be participating in that. But when I did the So Rainy bingo, that's where I got the party hat. What enrage is this? 90? Yeah, and like that's the other aspect of it too, is that like at a boss encounter where there is 4 of 1 drop, that is, you know, same rarity as a weapon set, and then like also the weapons, it makes sense that like the weapons are gonna be cheaper, because like in theory there should be 4 weapons for each there should be like 4 weapons for each shard, or like 3 extra sets of weapons, right? So if there's 3 extra sets of weapons for each shard, like of course there's gonna be way more weapons than anyone's gonna need. Like that just makes sense. Yeah, exactly. So like if every time you hit the weapon table, that means that, or if every time you hit the weapon table twice, like that's the same time you hit a shard once, like yeah, it makes a lot of sense like why weapons are so cheap. We're gonna start doing P5, which is cool. Well, I guess start. We're doing 1 P5, but should be fun either way. I do need to get in the habit of like doing my barricade switch. But yeah, I don't know. Like it totally makes sense why weapons are as cheap as they are. Is it like not ideal that new best in slot weapons are relatively cheap? I think that's totally fair. That's not ideal. Yeah, I don't know. I just don't care. But that's why investment is cheap. Yeah, like it wouldn't. Yeah, I wouldn't doubt it. Cause like one thing to consider about bow is that you're not really rolling for like all 3 bow pieces. You're rolling for 1 bow piece, right? Like, so if every time you hit a unique, you can hit the singular bow piece, or you can hit any of the pieces of armor, or either of the scriptures, or the codices. Like, yeah, it's not that weird that people are like hitting codices really often and not hitting bow pieces that often. Like, so I think I death marked here. Then we natural instinct. We did this. And then barricade. Oh, and then I did skulls. Okay. I remember now. I remember now. Yeah, I'll definitely have to like look up what my rotation is exactly. Because the good thing about P5 is it's the easiest phase. But if you forget what you're supposed to do, then it's not that easy, right? All right, well, I think that's it for me for tonight. I don't really have anything else I want to do. Yeah, so I think that's just where I'm gonna end it. For all my YouTube people, thanks guys for watching. Like the stream, it helps me out in the algorithm. If you guys want me to keep doing this, then obviously that's good for me. For my Twitch people, we're going to raid out. Let's see who's on the line. We're gonna raid Pirali, so yeah, we'll catch you guys.